Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, it's Duke.
And the Scory.
And welcome back to the second half of our finale, Drive-In Review.
Episode 8, Part 2.
I'm going to go ahead and kick this off.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Looney Tunes Back in Action is a 2000s film.
Mm-hmm.
Came out November 14th, 2003. And released by, who do you think it was released by?
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I think most of these are Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers or Disney.
So Looney Tunes Back in Action was directed by the one and only Joe Dante.
Ooh.
Yeah, who has done a number of strange and unusual movies.
Yeah, we've heard his name a lot.
Yeah. So Joe Dante has directed a number of child-friendly horror, I guess you could say. I mean, you can go with Gremlins, and he's done Twilight Zone, the movie.
Right.
Not so much childish, but
Cleaner.
suited for, the younger audience. Looney Tunes was written by Larry Doyle, who is known for doing some episodes of The Simpsons, Beavis and Butthead.
Nice.
He's also written Duplex, which was a strange movie. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen Duplex?
Is that the Ben Stiller one?
Yeah, with the old lady downstairs.
Mhm.
Yeah, very strange. And he's also written I Love You, Beth Cooper. I've seen that, but I don't. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think I've seen it too. I can't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember. IMDb gave this a 5.8 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.0 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes hit it up with a 57%, with a 50% audience rating. I don't personally have a rating for this. Do you have one?
Yeah, I've seen it recently. I mean, you didn't even... Who's in it?
Brendan Fraser,
Yep.
again. Jenna Elfman.
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
Low turn Joe Dirt.
Joan Cusack. Dick Miller again.
Nice.
I love me some Dick Miller.
Easy there.
Kevin McCarthy. Heather Locklear, and the one and only Vernon Wells.
Nice.
Wells, not Wales.
Yeah, not Wales. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It was good. It was very entertaining. I mean, I love Looney Tunes. But yeah, 6 out of 10. I wouldn't give it any more than that.
Okay. I do have a budget.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 80 million. It was made on...
How much did they lose?
About 12 million.
About 12 million?
Yeah.
So I didn't think that did so good.
So let's see what I got. Brendan Fraser did the voice of Taz in this movie
Interesting.
instead of the original voice actor because everybody thought he was just so good at doing the voice.
Right? And that was cheaper because he was already hired on for the role.
Absolutely.
So there you
go. Newer Looney Tunes shorts were never released because of the financial failure of this film.
Really?
So they had some shorts that they never released
go. Wow.
because this movie bombed so badly.
Kind of the end of Looney Tunes for a moment.
Yeah, it's been 20 years.
Wow.
I wonder if they've surfaced.
I think they have. Well, they came out with like a new Cartoon Network version of Looney Tunes. It was dumb.
No,
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. And Joe Dante refuses to discuss this movie in interviews.
That bad, huh?
I guess because of the financial failure of the film, also the fact that he had no creative freedom making this film. So he was just basically told to do something. He was doing what he was told to do.
Right. Do as you're told.
Yep. Or else it gets the hose again.
Right.
But that's all I have for Looney Tunes back in action from 2003.
All right.
Casey Kasem.
Well, I got a fun one. I've got.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I'm gonna take you back to like Saturday morning cartoons, and
Okay, like-
I had no idea this movie even came out.
Camp Candy, the movie.
No, no, but that's a good one. I missed that show. Bobby's World. And okay, we're showing our age. Woody Woodpecker.
Okay.
Remember me?
All right.
I got an ant on me. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
You got ants in your pants, do you?
Yeah. Let's say that.
The hyperactive red-headed bird enters a turf war with the big city lawyer wanting to tear down his home in an effort to build a house to flip.
What? I can't tear you.
Yeah, he can't tear me at all. Jeez. Oh, wacky. All right, just like Woody Woodpecker.
Remember me?
Okay, this movie stars Timothy Omundson, Thala Ayala, Graham Verchier,
You're doing good. Keep going.
and Eric Baza
Okay.
as the voice of Woody is Eric Baza. This movie was released in February 6th, 2018, and it was directed by Alex Zam, who also directed Tooth Fairy 2, Jingle All the Way 2, and Chairman of the Board.
2.
No, they never made a sequel to that, thank God.
So the original voice of Woody Woodpecker was Ben Hardaway.
Okay,
The show ran originally from 1940 to 1972.
nice.
So just throwing that in there, a little factoid.
Right, no, I knew it was an old cartoon.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was 40s. I knew 50s, but
No.
so where was I? Oh yeah, it was distributed and produced by Universal Pictures. Had a budget of $10 million. How much do you think it grossed? Think it flopped?
No. I think it made some money.
It made its money back and $5 million more. So
Okay.
15 mil.
Fair.
IMDb gave it 4.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes only gave it 13% with a 33% audience rating. And Letterboxd only gave it 1.3 out of 5.
Woof.
I actually gave it 6.5 out of 10 slates. I liked it.
Cool.
You know, it was good. It kind of shocked me. Like I said, I was just scrolling through streaming channels. I think it was Netflix. I think when that aired it first, and all of a sudden it popped up. I'm like, what? Woody Woodpecker movie? Okay, clicked on it, watched it all the way through. So,
Okay.
some fun facts about this, other than the ones that you mentioned. This was kind of interesting. Although shot in Squamish, British Columbia, and spoken entirely in English, the main market for this film was Brazilian.
Huh. Okay.
So all around, like all ethnicities. Woody Woodpecker is a well-known character in the country, and reruns of the original cartoon can still be seen on TV to this day down there in Brazil.
Okay.
So I was like, well, here too, if you know where you're looking, you can find them. But,
Let's get a party bus and go down to Brazil.
right, watch some Woody Woodpecker. I'm good.
This party.
Timothy Amundsen, his character, Lance Walters, is a play on the name of the creator of Woody Woodpecker, Walter Lance.
Okay.
So just giving him a cheers, I guess.
Yeah.
You know. Then,
Cheers.
right.
Let's go watch some Woody Woodpecker in Brazil. Okay.
That iconic laugh. This is the second time Eric Baza has plays a character that was previously voiced by Billy West. The first time was Ren and Stimpy. So love me some Ren and Stimpy.
Yep.
I used to watch that all the time.
He's also the voice of Fry.
Yeah, yeah, he is. Yep. Some Futurama.
Yep.
For the first time in 20 years, the 1950s design is used for Woody Woodpecker. It last appeared in the final theatrical short cartoon, Bye Bye Blackbird, but was still used for many years as the official look of Woody Woodpecker.
Okay.
So they use, I know like Woody Woodpecker's like changed designs over the years, kind of like the Looney Tunes, how they went to like they were first drawn and all wacky and kind of look kind of overweight.
Yeah.
Had overweight Elmer Fudd and everything back then.
Right.
And, so that's how Woody was originally, but then they redrew him in the 1950s, and that's what he's been ever since.
Okay.
And that's all I got on Woody Woodpecker.
Okay.
So, what do you got next?
Tom and Jerry is the one I have next.
I love me some Tom and Jerry.
February 26th, 2021. Brand new movie. Came out just a couple of years ago. Released by, who do you think?
Warner Brothers?
Yes. So this Warner Brothers...
Words.
So this Warner Brothers produced film was directed by Tim Story. It was written by Kevin Costello. I don't know if it's any relation to Abbott and.
Right.
IMDb gave it a 5.2 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 2.0 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 30% with an 82% audience approval rating.
Right.
The budget was $79 million. Do you think it flopped? Stop looking at my stuff.
I think it got its money back.
Yes, it made $136.5 million.
Nice.
And so this film, give me a second here. Chloe Grace Moretz, Michael Pena, Colin Yost, and Ken Jeong all starred in this film.
All right. Good job.
Thanks.
We got some weird names that we're doing good pronouncing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm tongue-tied today. So Tom and Jerry was originally announced in 2009. Post-production crew worked from home on this film because of COVID.
Okay.
Not related to the 2009 thing I just told you about.
Right. Right. I was like, wait a minute. That was out in 2009?
Yeah, I
wow.
The director cites Roger Rabbit as an influence for the special effects that were done on this film. Have you seen this film?
I have.
What'd you give it?
I'd give it 7 out of 10.
Was it that good?
It was very nostalgic to the cartoons, and I think they did really good with the animation. It wasn't CGI. It was actual like cartoons. So it really did have that Roger Rabbit feel to it, and so I concur with that fun fact. That's awesome because I mean it spot on. So it was good. It was entertaining.
Should I run right out and watch it?
I recommend seeing it.
Okay.
I wouldn't run out to go see it. It's, if I said 9 out of 10, sure, but 7 out of 10, if you catch it on TV, watch it.
Okay.
I recommend it.
So Jennifer Lawrence was on the concept art of this, on the cover, the poster art,
Okay.
theatrical poster art of this film.
But she wasn't in the movie.
But she was not in the movie because... No, she was not in the movie.
Okay.
Chloe won the
Audition?
part. Yeah, won the part.
Gotcha.
What's really strange is also Chloe was considered for the part of Hunger Games,
Okay.
which
Which Jennifer Lawrence got.
Which
So they
Jennifer Lawrence
swapped
got.
roles.
yes.
Okay.
So that's what I've got.
Nice.
What the fuck was he talking about?
What you got, Sea Dog?
Well, I'm going to talk about Detective Pikachu. It's a Pokemon live-action movie.
I have seen that one.
There you go. All right.
They try to talk to me all the time. All they hear is Pika Pika.
You can hear him, right?
Pika Pika!
Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
Can no one else hear him?
Watch that with my son.
So, synopsis on this is
Oh yeah, I keep.
you
Never
keep
mind.
forgetting.
You know.
Yeah, I know you.
I'm not
I
gonna-
just roll with
just
it.
forget it.
By now, our audience knows you too. They're just going to go and look and see what those movies are
Yeah,
about.
okay. If you like it, go look them up because apparently I can't.
All right. So, in a world where people collect Pokemon to do battles, a boy comes across an intelligent talking Pikachu who seeks to be a detective.
Pika.
So, Pika Pika. I never played the Pokemon game, like the card game. You know, growing up, I loved the cartoons. Mm-hmm. I used to watch them all the time, but I just never got into the card game.
Back in the late 90s.
Yeah, where they had tournaments and all that. That was too much for me.
Yeah, I didn't do neither them or the Pogs.
Yeah, Pogs, and then there was Magic or Wizard,
Yeah,
something like that.
mhm,
Yeah. Crazy 90s phase.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep my Tamagotchi alive.
Right.
Yeah,
I was too busy playing Mortal Kombat.
right.
So this movie stars Justice Smith, Catherine Newton, as we know from Freaky,
Okay.
and other movies. I think she's been in a couple other ones. I forgot. I didn't look them up,
Oh, okay.
but I just knew she was in Freaky.
Okay.
So,
It's a good movie.
right. Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu.
There's Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
I knew he was going to pop up.
The movie was released May 10th, 2019. It was directed by Rob Letterman, who also directed Monsters vs. Aliens, Gulliver's Travels, and Goosebumps.
Thought you were going to say Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe. It's David Letterman's brother.
Yeah.
Rob. No, not true. It could be. I don't know. I didn't look that far up into it. Didn't get on Ancestry.com and see who he's related to. He's a Letterman, folks.
We do our research here, folks.
Yeah. It was distributed and produced by, who do you think produced it?
Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers and Legendary Entertainment.
Okay. And Universal. And Amblin.
Yeah. Had a budget of $150 million. Did it flop?
I don't know. Let me look at your stuff.
No. Don't look at my stuff.
No. Yes, it flopped.
Made a whopping $433 million.
Okay. It didn't flop.
No. It sure as hell didn't flop. In fact, they're actually making a sequel.
Okay.
So I hope it's in production right now. IMDb gave it 6.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 68% with a 79% audience rating.
Meh.
And Letterboxd gave it 3.1 out of 5. I love this movie. I think this is my highest rated movie that we have for this episode. I gave it 9 out of 10.
Okay. I'm not going to run right out and watch it because I've seen it.
Right.
I give it a 4 out of 10.
Give it 4 out of 10. Not a fan?
No.
All right.
Didn't care for it.
I like the fact that they finally did just the hybrid with the Pokemon. I mean, the Pokemon were well drawn. I thought, it was well done. The acting could have been a little bit better, but other than that, I enjoyed it.
What can you do?
Right. Fun facts on this. I do have some. I have fun facts for all my movies.
Sweet.
I'm prepared. Tim mentions a gangster film on TV is an old detective movie. The clip being shown is actually Angels with Filthy Souls. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, Home Alone.
Yep, exactly. It was the movie within a movie, which was featured in the original Home Alone in 1990.
And was not a real movie.
Not a real movie, no. The realistic style of the Pokemon were based on the artwork by R.J. Palmer. The movie's production designer discovered him, and while he was looking for realistic Pokemon designs on the internet, and I actually seen his artwork before the movie actually came out, and I was hoping, like, man, these would look good as in a movie and everything. Sure enough, he found him and said, "Hey, you're hired." So he was the original, the inspiration for the art.
Okay.
Pete Dione. I'm hoping I'm not trashing that, because Dione.
Okay.
Yeah, Pete Dione, a VFX supervisor at MPC, stated that there's a lot of letters. Stated that
You're sweating.
Oh my gosh, it's hot in here. Stated that in designing the Pokemon for the film, one thing that the Pokemon company was uncompromising about was all Pokemon, no matter what the circumstances, needed to remain adorable.
Okay.
I was like, even if they were fighting in battle and pissed off, they had to still be cute.
That's their presidential seal there. They got to stay cute.
Right. The day before the film's theatrical release, the entire movie was leaked onto YouTube in reality. Clicking this video will play a minute of the film before cutting to a loop of Pikachu dancing for an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh.
I actually saw this video and was cracking up because it sure is.
For a whole hour, you were just
I
sitting
didn't
there
watch the
laughing.
whole thing, but wow. And I just clicked on it. I'm like, no way they leaked this already, And I clicked on it, watched a minute of it, and all of a sudden it's just him, Pikachu dancing. So
Okay.
I think Ryan Reynolds, was the one that leaked it just on purpose, because he does that kind of thing with Deadpool and all that,
I can see that.
He likes to play jokes. During Mr. Mime's interrogation in the movie, he mimics Sharon Stone's leg crossing scene from Basic Instinct,
Okay.
and that's all I got.
Okay. That was also mimicked in that satire movie, Fatal Instinct. It's called Fatal Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that early 90s.
like a spoof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay.
I mean, Sharon Stone's leg crossing scene is iconic.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So, I mean, anybody, there's been a lot of imitations of it.
So what you got, D-Dog? I got Space Jam New Legacy.
Are we talking third person now? I was taking a drink. Wow, I didn't know I was that talented.
Yeah. My ventriloquist.
What do we got?
Space Jam New Legacy.
All right. Love me some Space Jam.
This movie was released July 15th, 2021. I'm getting all the new ones here. Who do you think? What?
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 I don't know.
Who do you think released it?
Warner Brothers?
So this Warner
We should have
Brothers.
just called this Warner Brothers episode.
Yeah,
That's what we should have.
absolutely. So this Warner Brothers release was directed by Malcolm D. Lee. It was written by 5 people, and I did not write them all down. IMDb gave it 4.5 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 2.0 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 25% with a 79% audience agreement.
What did you give it?
What'd you give it?
I gave it 6 out of 10. I wasn't a big fan of the sequel. I love Michael Jordan. I was hoping he would come back to do the sequel. I can't stand LeBron James.
Okay.
But I love the fact that they actually, I like the storyline of it and the fact that they made the Looney Tunes CGI
Okay.
and made them like 3D-dimensional. That was pretty cool to see that. But yeah, 6 out of 10. I wouldn't give it any more than that.
Cool. I gave it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I've not seen
just blindly, it's the best. Go see it.
So this movie stars LeBron James, Don Cheadle, Jeff Bergman, who does a few of the voices, and Gabriel Iglesias,
Yeah.
who does Speedy Gonzales for this film. The movie was done on a budget of $150 million, and do you think it flopped?
No.
$163 million. It did not flop, but it did not make much more than the
Right.
budget that it set out for.
And let me add, Michael Jordan does make a cameo in this.
Yes.
Just not
A.
yeah, not A.
But
Michael
B.
B. Jordan.
Space Jam facts.
Okay. Brought to you by Warner Brothers.
Bob Bergen is the only voice actor to return from the first Space Jam movie
Okay.
when he does the voice of Tweety.
Nice.
Justin Lin was originally set to direct this film, but he left to direct Fast and Furious 9 and Fast X, which he also left production on.
Huh.
Yeah.
He left on Fast X? Wow. Okay.
And also, a very fun fact I thought was really interesting is that King Kong, who is in this film apparently,
Yes. So instead of just having like the Looney Tunes characters, it was the entire Warner Brothers platform.
Okay.
So it's like a multiverse. They go into the AI and into the internet. So it's like the Warner Brothers multiverse. So they have King Kong. They've got dinosaurs. They've got everything. Anything Warner Brothers has done, they have a cameo for it. Wizard of Oz. I mean, it's weird.
So what's fun about King Kong is they used him for free because that character is in the public domain.
Right.
Did you know that?
I didn't know it was for free, but yeah,
But yeah, King Kong is in the public domain. Anybody can use it anytime.
nice.
Yeah,
All right. So it's not copyrighted.
correct.
That's
That is accurate, Corey. Not copyrighted. And that's all I have.
as many times as you've seen King Kong in a movie. I mean, you would think somebody would jump on that and copyright it.
Sure.
Peter Jackson. I mean, I figured he would. I wonder if you can copyright a certain type of King Kong.
Probably not. I think
Just
it's
the name.
intellectual property of it would be the original.
Not
I'm
the
guessing.
design.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there you go.
All right.
There's your Space Jam Part 2. So for this segment, we're going to bring out Shaggy.
Thanks, Duke.
So what you got? S dog. I don't know.
We're going to talk about my favorite movie, Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Corey, you have a synopsis? I sure do, Shaggy. After an acrimonosi... See, there's another big word. See?
Bring Shaggy back.
I know, right? I don't think he can say it. He's probably too stoned. After a huge breakup, let's just say that, the Mystery Inc. gang are individually brought to an island resort to investigate strange ongoings.
Okay. Again.
Again,
And
yeah.
again.
So they broke up a little bit, had a rough patch, and then they were brought back together for on this island resort, like theme park and everything. So
Okay.
it stars Freddie Prinze Jr. as Fred, Sarah Michelle Gellar as Daphne, the one and only Matthew Lillard as myself, and Linda Cardellini, which
Okay.
we know from other movies such as like Grandma's Boy.
She was in Freaks and Geeks.
Yep. So, and she plays Velma.
Okay.
Shaggy, when did your movie come out? Let's see here. It was released in June 8th, 2002. All right. See here. The director was Raja Gosnell. He also directed Smurfs 1 and 2, Never Been Kissed, Big Mama's House, and Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
These are all classics.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm proud of myself because I spelt Chihuahua. I typed Chihuahua and didn't lok it up.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, Chihuahua. I was like, all right, I actually spelt it right. So kudos to me. I swear, folks, I've got my education. It was distributed and produced by who? It wasn't Hanna-Barbera.
DreamWorks.
No.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. Had a budget of $85 million. You think it flopped?
No,
No?
it did not flop.
No, it did not flop. It grossed $276 million.
The only reason I said that Pokemon flopped is because I forgot what movie we were talking about at that time.
Oh, okay. IMDb gave it 5.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 32% with a 39% audience rating. And Letterboxd gave it 3.3 out of 10. I actually gave it 7.5 out of 10 slates.
Ooh, another half.
Yeah, I'm rolling the halves out this episode. I was just crossed. I didn't want to give it an 8, but not dumb it down to a 7.
Okay.
So yeah.
I gave it a whopping 10 out of 10
Did you? You liked it?
because I haven't seen
You
it.
haven't seen it? All right. Some fun facts. Let's go with some fun facts on this. So the director, Raja Gosnell, wanted a real-life couple to play Daphne and Fred. His first choice was Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Hey, Fred.
All right, wrong cartoon. Prince Jr. didn't originally want to be in the movie because he felt it wouldn't live up to Scooby cartoons.
Okay.
So, but Geller talked him into it anyways, and that's how he got Freddie and Daphne.
Okay.
So, this film was originally set to have a much darker tone, essentially poking fun at the older cartoons, and was set for a PG-13 rating. Shaggy was set to be a stoner. That's not true. Okay, Shaggy, calm down.
So essentially, this was supposed to be a Scream movie when it was first made.
Right, like a slasher. Yes. Awesome.
I would watch that Scooby.
Matthew
movie.
Lillard comes back. Velma and Daphne had a side relationship. Ooh,
Oh no,
yeah.
not that.
And there were many marijuana references. According to Sarah Michelle Gellar, after the cast had signed on, there was a change and the film became more family friendly. However, by 2017, James Gunn confirmed that the original cut of the film got an R rating and had to use CGI to cover cleavage.
What?
Yeah. When Daphne attempts to recruit Shaggy and Scooby to inspect the castle with her, Shaggy objects. He says, what do you say, Shaggy? Like Scoob and me don't do castles. Because castles have paintings with eyes that watch you and suits of armor you think is a statue with a guy inside that follows you every time you turn around.
What the fuck was he talking about?
All right.
What?
That was a lot.
Say that again.
No. No.
I didn't catch that.
Everything that Shaggy describes, or did describe just now, occurred in What a Night for a Night, 1969. The very first Scooby-Doo cartoon to be aired.
Oh, okay. So we're making reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
So-
not a Bill and Ted movie.
Right.
Okay. Just getting my facts straight.
Yeah. One of the few Scooby-Doo films to reveal the real first names of Scooby and Shaggy as respectively Scoobert and Norville.
Okay. Scoobert.
Scoobert and Norville.
All right.
Frank Welker, who has voiced Freddie Jones in the Scooby-Doo cartoons, provides his voice to one of the evil creatures in this movie. From 2002, Welker has also taken on the job of voicing Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
So, and that's all I got to say about Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
What do you got, D-Dog?
Osmosis Jones.
Oh, I love that movie.
So Osmosis Jones was released August 10th, 2001, just before the world changed.
Right.
Before the world changed. So who do you think released this movie, Corey?
Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers.
Good grief.
This Warner Brothers feature was directed by the Farrelly brothers,
Okay.
who we know has done Dumb and Dumber.
Three Stooges.
And I Know What You Did Last Summer. No, that's not the movie I'm thinking
No.
of. Yeah. Something About Mary.
Right.
It was also written by Mark Hyman. IMDb gave it a 6.3 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 2.8 out of 5. Pretty average. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 56% with a 42% audience rating. Went down. This movie stars the one and only Chris Rock,
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence Fishburne, David Hyde Pierce, Bill Murray, Molly Shannon, William Shatner, Ron Howard, and Chris Elliott.
Star-studded cast.
Yeah. So, fun thing about David Hyde Pierce, who we know from Frasier.
Yeah. Not Fraser.
Not Frasier.
Frasier.
David Hyde Pierce was hired because he was the whitest man they could find.
That's racist. Wow.
Yeah, he was. He played Drix in the film.
I was gonna say, did he play Drex in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, this was originally supposed to be a PG-13 film,
Okay.
but apparently it's not now.
I can see that.
Will Smith showed interest in playing the Ozzy character, but that didn't happen either
Yeah.
because Chris Rock and never mind.
That was way after.
I know.
Yeah, that was way before the slap.
And finally, the role that Lawrence Fishburne played was originally cast or suggested for Jeff Daniels, Ian McClellan, Patrick Stewart, Dennis Hopper, Kevin Spacey, Isaac Hayes, Chuck Norris, LeVar Burton, Tim Allen, Sam Jackson, Tom Cruise, Billy Bob Thornton, Robert Downey Jr., Kurt Russell, Kevin Creveau, and Mike Myers.
Wow, everybody.
All
wanted
were
to
considered for the role
be, everybody wanted to be in this movie.
that Lawrence Fishburne played. But that did not happen either.
And Lawrence Fishburne, he was Thrax, right?
I
He was the
believe
bad guy.
it's been a very long time since I've seen
I think
this
so.
film. I give it a 5 out of 10, personally.
I gave it 6.
Okay, I need to rewatch it. It's been 20 years since
Yeah.
I've seen it.
It wasn't a mixed animation, but it had live action and then switched back over to animation.
Yeah. Yeah.
The animation part was inside Bill Murray.
Okay, yeah,
So,
that's right.
but
But I'll tell you what this was, a Warner Brothers film.
yes, I think this is a record.
That's all I have for Osmosis Jones.
All right,
What you got, Sea Dog?
I'm gonna take us back to 1977. We're gonna talk about Pete's Dragon. So I didn't want to do the remake. I want to do the original
Okay,
because the remake was like CGI.
I watched that a lot as a kid.
Yeah. I love Mickey Rooney. He was one of my favorites back then. Just
Not Andy Rooney.
not Andy Rooney, Mickey Rooney.
Okay.
So if you haven't never heard of Pete's Dragon,
It's 3 o'clock.
it's his name's Elliot. He is a magical and sometimes mischievous dragon. He causes chaos in a Maine fishing village when he tries to help a young orphan called Pete. Called Pete, like he's the pet. He's called Pete.
Come here, Pete.
Helps him escape from his evil foster parents and wants to live in
Auschwitz.
no, God, no. He wants to live in the lighthouse with Nora and her father. So, wow. You went there, didn't you? Oh, man. All right. So, this movie was... Oh, let me go. Hang on. The movie stars Sean Marshall, Mickey Rooney,
Not Andy Rooney.
not Andy Rooney, Helen Reddy, Shelley Winters, and Jeff Conaway.
Okay.
The movie was released November 3rd, 1977. It was directed by Don Chaffee and Don Bluth, who also, Chaffee, he was more known for like TV show directings like MacGyver, some other stuff that
Miami Vice.
I don't think so.
Okay. I just have Don Johnson.
Don Johnson in here, right? Nash Bridges. And then Bluth went on to direct movies that we know of very well, Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Okay. Classics. 90s classics.
Yeah. And it was distributed and produced by, who do you think?
Bloomhouse.
Bluth House. No. Walt Disney.
Oh, okay.
Not Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Had a budget of $10 million and grossed $39.5 million. So it wasn't a flop. IMDb gave it 6.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 56% with a 60% audience rating. And Letterboxd gave it 2.9 out of 5. I gave it 7 out of 10. I watched it a lot when I was a kid. Loved it.
I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Been a long, long time since I've seen it, but yeah, it's a classic. Used to watch it a bunch.
I have not seen the remake. I kind of refuse to because I love the older one so much.
How old is that new one?
The new one I think came out in 2006.
Okay.
I think around there, late mid 2000s.
Okay.
I got a few fun facts.
Okay.
So-
Slap it on me.
Originally, Elliot the dragon was not to be seen at all in the film and remain invisible throughout. That would have been weird. It would have just been like an imaginary friend at that point. However, members of the studio animation department gradually lobbied studio heads to increase the amount of visible screen time. At first, it was decided he would only be seen at the end of the film. But ultimately, the character's screen time was increased to 22 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Excuse me.
the studio needed special permission from the Coast Guard to use the authentic lighthouse scene in the film.
Okay.
So I didn't know you needed special permission from the Coast Guard, but
The Coast Guard says, "Hey, you can use the lighthouse."
the film's box office performance suffered as it was on release at the same time as Star Wars. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough competition.
But I mean, it still made money though. So I mean, kudos to them. They still made. At least it didn't flop because of it.
Yeah.
So, was that the first Star Wars? Because it just says Star Wars.
Yeah, you said this came out, what, 77?
Yeah, was that A New Hope?
Yeah.
Okay. This was the first Disney film to be recorded in the new Dolby stereo system.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
And that's all I got.
That is a fun fact,
Right?
folks.
What you got? What you got next?
Well, my last movie is Christopher Robin.
Aw.
This movie was released August 3rd, 2018, and released by
Warner Brothers.
incorrect Walt Disney. This Walt Disney feature was directed by
Mart? What kind of name is that?
Mark Foster. Fart
Monster?
Fart Monster. It stars Ewan McGregor, Haley Atwell, Bronte Carmichael, and Jim Cummings.
All right.
IMDb gave this film, directed by Mark Foster,
Good job.
a 7.2 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.5 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 72% with an 82% audience rating. So this movie was made on a budget of $75 million. Do you think it flopped, Christopher Robin?
Yeah.
It did not. It made $197.7
Nice.
million dollars.
Nice. What would you rate? Would you rate
7
it?
out of 10.
You rate it 7 out of 10?
I liked this movie.
I gave it 10 out of 10 because I haven't seen it.
So, oh, you son of a bitch.
I've been wanting to watch it. I just haven't had there's always been something else that I want to see besides it. So
Sure. Well, if it's ever on,
yeah,
check it out. It's not a bad movie.
right.
So the fun facts I have on this are few and far between.
Mhm.
But I want to start here. Much of the content from the film is based off original works of A.A. Milne,
Okay.
the creator of
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, the Pooh.
Yeah. Okay.
The Pooh.
The Pooh.
Also, this is the biggest grossing Pooh film. That's how I have it written down.
That's
This is
okay.
the biggest grossing Pooh film ever. At $197.7 million. Highest grossing Pooh film.
All right.
And Mark Foster's 6-year-old daughter influenced the director to make the film
Nice.
because she wanted him to make something that was kid friendly.
Right.
And he was like, okay, I'm going to make this Pooh film.
The grossing Pooh film. All right.
But it's a good film. Go check it out.
Yeah, I like Ewan McGregor. I like Winnie the Pooh. So yeah, I'll go watch me some Pooh.
What you got, Sea-Dog?
I'm gonna end our season. It's hard to believe we're already at the end.
Yeah.
It feels like we've been doing this for a minute now. Calm down. So, I'm gonna end it with Rock-a-Doodle.
Let me be your rooster, and let me roost with you. Let me be your rooster, let me hear your sweet voice coo. Girl, you've thrown me for a loop. Well, you're the number one chick in this chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, like how I did that. That was not good.
That was very shaggy.
Yeah.
And where did he go, by the way?
I think he left. He had to go smoke the doobie. And,
Okay. Well, thanks to Shaggy for coming on the show.
Right. Our first guest host.
Yeah.
All right. So, in order to defeat the wicked Grand Duke of Owls, a young boy transformed into a cat teams up with a group of barnyard animals to find the rooster who can rise the sun.
Okay.
So, how do you like my movie guy voice there? That was interesting.
In 1813.
This movie stars Glenn Campbell, Christopher Plummer, Toby Scott Granger, Phil Harris, Eddie Deason,
Yeah, good old Eddie Deason.
Yep.
Yeah.
and Ellen Green.
Oh, okay.
So we just watched
Yes, we
Little
did.
Shop of Horrors with her in it. And we know Eddie Deason from Grease, and so,
Yep. A whole bunch of other different weird, funny,
yeah, he always plays the nerd.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So,
And now he's a real troublemaker. He's been
Yeah.
arrested a couple times. just in the
burglary
last-
charges and
Yeah, like
everything. Trespassing.
he was like cussing somebody out in a restaurant just recently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's getting up there in age probably,
Yeah.
so it might be getting a little senile. Who knows?
Maybe.
Anyways, this came out in April 3rd of 1992.
1813.
It was directed by Don Bluth, who I mentioned before, with Pete's Dragon,
Bluth House.
and he also directed Anastasia and Titan AE.
Okay.
So the animation, kind of with all of those, is pretty like spot on.
Okay.
It was distributed and produced by not Warner Brothers.
Walt Disney.
Nope.
Bloomhouse.
HBO and Sony Pictures.
Oh.
Had a budget of 18 million. Think it flopped?
No.
It did.
Did it really?
Yeah, 11.5.
Oh.
So just almost made its money back.
Now it's a cult classic if you're forever a 10-year-old.
Right. IMDb gave it 6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 20% with a 55% audience rating, so
Okay.
it boosted up a little bit.
No.
And then Letterboxd gave it a 2.7 out of 5.
Pretty average.
Yeah, I gave it 6 out of 10.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's been since the 90s that I've seen parts of it.
Right.
I don't recall ever watching the whole thing.
I've seen the whole thing at least twice, but I'm with you. I caught bits and pieces
Yeah.
here and there over the years.
On
And I always-
HBO,
Right.
probably. The,
Some-
the Sony channel.
Right. The fun facts I've got on this, the final scenes blending live action with animation was inspired by the popularity of in
Huh?
I can't read,
Words.
right? Was inspired by the popularity of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, I could have guessed it was Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. I want to say that, they say the final scenes, but in the beginning of the movie, too, it starts off with live action. And that's how the boy gets turned into a cat.
Boy.
Right. So,
I had to throw my phantasm in there.
right. Pinky the Fox, the sinister and greedy manager of Chanticleer, which is the rooster, is based on the late Elvis Presley's band manager, Colonel Tom Parker.
Okay.
Glenn Campbell was really good friends with Elvis Presley and would sometimes do Elvis imitations in his concerts. He stopped doing them once Elvis died and everything, but for the film, he once again based his singing
Wait.
voice on Elvis.
Elvis died?
Yeah,
When?
like a long time ago.
I'm just kidding. I knew he did.
Yeah. What? You're one of those people?
Anyway. Full
and
speed
then-
ahead.
Right. And then,
Excuse me. Jeez.
got a rooster in your throat?
Yeah, I got a rooster in my throat.
The last film role for Phil Harris was this movie. He passed away in 1995.
Okay.
So
And
Phil
this
Harris
movie was released when?
it was 1992. So yeah, he passed away in 1995. Do you recognize the name Phil Harris?
No.
You
not
would
right
recognize his
offhand.
voice.
Okay.
He's Baloo. He's also Little John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, He's played a few roles in his voice and everything.
The old 60s cartoons.
Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat.
Thomas O'Malley.
Yep, he played him, and he was he played a dog in this one. I forgot the dog's name. I think it's Chateau.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's all I got for Rockadoodle.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
Man, all right. Well, season 1's a wrap.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna take a small break, and we'll get to season 2 here shortly. Hopefully before summer ends.
Much love to Shaggy.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for
stopping
Shaggy.
in.
Right.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was nice. Thanks.
Quit shoving. See ya.
See you guys.
We need a boost, a pick-me-up, a secret weapon.
We need a miracle.
I don't know if this counts as a miracle, but I found Michael Jordan. He was in the audience. I know he can help. Is Ennis? You found him?
I can feel his power already.
Ooh, I can hear his shoes.
At guard, 6'6" from North Carolina. Number 23, Michael Jordan.
Come on, man. That's Michael B. Jordan, the actor. I was just getting some popcorn, and then this cat grabbed me.
We couldn't get Michael A. Jordan, so we got Michael B. Jordan? How could you think he was his Ennis? They look nothing alike. It's been 25 years. I thought he aged gracefully.
This is awkward.